sind wir wieder mit einer Runde mit. Wir schauen in ein neues Spiel rein und hören gerade mal schnell in das Intro rein. Encased, a Sci-Fi Post-Apocalyptic RPG. Ist auf jeden Fall über Kickstarter gebackt worden damals. Also scheint es zumindest einige Fans zu haben, die Grundstory.
No living thing trapped under the dome can escape it. Yet even this did not stop the research. The major powers created the Cronus Mega Corporation to develop and explore the dome. Its secrets became a lucrative business. The Spire station was built on top of the dome to export the artifacts and import supplies and personnel. The city of Crystal Sands grew at the foot of the dome, eventually becoming a major transportation hub. All this required thousands of employees, and there was no shortage of candidates. Romantics, pragmatists, and adventurers of all trades swarmed recruiting centers around the globe, seeking jobs at Cronus. You were one of those people. In 1976, your application was approved, and you went under the dome towards the future. Whether a good one or a bad one, only time will tell.
Dome. Nehmen wir einen Pre-Set-Charakter. Nein, wir machen selber ein. So. Schöne Friese machen hier. Ah, nichts Gutes dabei. Wir ihn hier. Das sieht ja gut aus. So. Bonusabteilung. Jeder verdient 2 Stück Fallen, bla, Startboni, Geschick, weiße Abteilung, Verstand, Attribute. Wir machen Verstand geht bis maximal bis 10 hoch, okay. Unser Glück mal auf 10 pushen. Konstitution einen runter und Wahrnehmung einen runter. Dafür Glück auf 10. Aber gucken, was das bringt. Weiter. Oh, Sekunde. Das Kampf, leichte Waffen, schwere Waffen, Heilwaffen, Faustkampf, Nahkampfwaffen. Psionic. Psionic klingt gut. Medizin, Technik, Wissenschaft. Wie viel können wir denn hier anklicken? Ja, nur 2. Okay, dann nehmen wir das. Eigenschaften, Neandertaler. Nein. Dunkler Herrscher. Ich finde das dunkler Herrscher, glaube ich, witzig. Ich weiß noch nicht, woraus es hinausläuft, aber schauen wir mal. Das sieht verdammt komplex aus, das Spiel. Ich glaube, das ist nichts für einmal kurz reingucken. Aber wir tun es trotzdem. Crazy. Okay. Last Full RPG. Du hast die Spire-Station mit einer Transportkarte verlassen, deine Reise beginnt. Okay. So, kannst du dich
The
unterhalten.
guy wearing thick spectacles thrusts out a sweaty hand.
Monty James, Silverwing.
He glances down at your badge.
Ah, it's you. I found your file extremely interesting. And your CV, wonderful. Inspiring, really.
Hä, habe ich den nicht ganz anders designt? Mit Haaren und so?
When I had the opportunity to look over the files of my future colleagues, I couldn't resist. I don't want to sound boastful, but silver level clearance has its advantages.
Monty winks. Monty makes a ring with his thumb and forefinger.
You were number 63,784 on the waiting list, but you were lucky enough to get into the dome after only 16 months. Besides that, zero, nada, absolutely nothing. You're a dark horse for both the Foundation and myself. How exactly did you end up in this wing? Oh, I see. Well, if you ever decide to sew together a Frankenstein's monster from the bodies of dead oranges, be sure to let me know.
The Silver laughs at his own joke, alone. An uncomfortable silence rises. He taps the narrow illuminator panel with one finger. The Orange is dressed in a new jumpsuit. The shiny badge on his chest reads, Quentin Bisley, Laborer. He's side-eyeing the screen skeptically. Despite his tired, grim expression, his gaze is open and friendly. However, the general impression is unmistakable. There's something frightening. The Orange's face stretches into a broad smile, bearing his dentures to the world.
Like everyone, duh. In a black car, under guard. There's other guys, too. The ones who go through the...
Quentin raises his hands to examine the devices.
They call them humane handcuffs. How about that? Truth is, there ain't nothing humane about them. They zap you real hard the moment you get your hands on a gun. But they sure look nice.
Bisley lowers his hands again and smirks. A tall woman is watching an ad playing on the monitor, arms crossed. The polished to a shine badge on her black overalls reads, Elsa Olafson, Security Service. She glances at you and offers her hand in a businesslike manner.
Greetings. Please take all necessary precautions. By that I mean, don't turn your back on him.
Elsa nods at the Orange.
I just follow.
Wenn man aber für die silberne Abteilung wählen können, das ist auf jeden Fall schon mal einige Antworten, die ich hier nicht wählen kann, weil ich sie nicht habe.
Olafson shrugs in a sharp,
Vielleicht alles mal
mechanical
durchgucken sollen.
way, as if racking the slide of an assault rifle.
Our friends from the administration didn't deign to inform me about this man's record. Could be I'm escorting a serial killer. It's corporate policy, you know.
She gives the Silver a vengeful look. A man with a mustache and a blue jumpsuit is standing at the window, studying the construction site below through the occasional break in the clouds. His badge reads Igor Patan, planner. The blue taps on the glass with one finger and gestures you to come and take a look. Seems like he doesn't speak English. The thin, pale young woman is sitting at the window, leaning against the illuminator. The glass is slightly fogged with her breath. She turns to you. Her shiny badge reads Tomoko Kimura, physiologist.
We've crossed the border. No way back now. Even traveling by the funicular wasn't so thrilling.
The white presses small hands to her blushing cheeks.
You were thinking, why have no children been born under the dome? I've got a working hypothesis, but I'm not ready to share it yet.
She says softly, as if answering a question you didn't ask. Kimura peers through the glass in the direction you indicate.
Oh, that's the aircraft that crashed into the dome during the first expedition. I believe that's a wing fragment, and there's some white canvas. What do you think that is? Maybe a parachute?
The white shakes her head, bewildered.
I just can't believe it. It's all true. We're on our way to meet the future.
Kimura shoots you a surprised look.
You're familiar with the details of the briefing, right? To put it simply, the dome is a selectively permeable environment.
The white draws an invisible hemisphere in the air.
Inorganic objects may exit the dome without difficulty, but any living creature dies if transported back to the outside world. That's...
Kimura listens without interrupting, as if considering your every word.
It's quite possible. I would like to set up an experiment to test this in practice.
She cuts off, abruptly. You exchange glances with the rapidly blushing Kimura.
Not in that sense. I mean, yes, in that sense, but it is science, you know? It's quite serious.
She blushes even more.
No thanks.
Kronos Foundation presents gleaming, futuristic, state-of-the-art cities straight from the pages of science fiction. Well-paid, safe employment, career advancement opportunities,
Fähigkeit Gewalt.
and a world-class social safety net. Noble and intellectually stimulating work in state-of-the-art laboratories. We're thrilled to welcome you to the Dome. Please hold on to the handrail and prepare for landing. Kronos Foundation presents gleaming future.
Stopping by the door's porthole, you watch as the ground slowly approaches. It looks brown-black through the tinted glass and smoky blue at the horizon. It almost seems like the clouds are pulling apart there. You scan the desert for any sign of the anomalies you've heard so much about. A flat, dark form hangs in the air above the horizon. It vaguely resembles a mushroom cloud, but with a much denser structure. In the distance, you can also see a strange, apparently man-made wall rising from the sand. All the radio ads and TV shows were telling the truth. This place really was made for those who place their trust in science. Just as you're about to move away from the window, you notice a whirlwind beginning to form above the ochre plain. The gathering storm drifts unhurriedly above the desert, a crown of green lightning flashing at its core. Clearly no ordinary weather phenomenon. It must be one of those anomalies. You freeze by the window, unable to avert your gaze. The outlines of the landing site, blurred by clouds of dust, appear behind the greenish glass of the porthole. The capsule shudders as the braking devices engage.
Hey.
Come here. Come on now, or you'll miss everything.
A cheerful man in a white lab coat grabs you by the sleeve. A badge reading Ludovico Nuzzi, scientific analyst, export department, dangles loosely on his clean uniform, which still smells pungently of washing powder.
Look over there.
He points upward with a sharp, wide gesture and hands you his field binoculars. You raise the binoculars to your eyes. Under fourfold magnification, the whirling cloud above the rust-colored plains looks even stranger. Its core glows with flickering green light and flashes rhythmically. Nazi bends close to your ear.
Fascinating. Do you want me to bring some filters? If we intercept the red and blue spectrums, we'll see something amazing. It's like a signal, some kind of message.
Without tearing your gaze away from the binoculars, you turn around slowly, studying the dome's horizon. It's somewhat unexpected that the dome looks horribly empty. Your eyes find some construction pits dug directly in the sand, and concrete blocks laid beside them. There are almost no roads, or not sealed ones. Only one highway with yellow surface marking stretches among the sand drifts. The scientist looks blankly at you, then down at his lab coat.
Ah, this? This?
He lets out a blaring laugh. Ludovico points at the building behind him.
I work in Concord Station, categorizing relics. My job is to classify them by rarity. Then the blues package them, silvers issue the documentation, and oranges move them to the cargo capsule. Just like the one you arrived in.
Nazi points upward.
Then the capsule takes the relics way up there, all the way to the spire, then to Crystal Sands by the funicular. They get auctioned off and turned into money. It's not like I endorse this, but we all like ourselves a good paycheck, right?
He offers you his binoculars once again.
Do you want to have a look at the spot?
Nazi looks from you to the capsule and to the landing terminal entrance. He flings his arms up.
Oh, mi scusi. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. You'd better get going or you'll be late for check-in. Yeah, the storm is growing stronger.
The White mutters in fascination, eyes glued to his binoculars, which is fixed on the spinning whirl of clouds.
Welcome back. Bye-bye.
Okay, wir müssen uns also registrieren. Wahrscheinlich müssen wir hier rein. Das ist halt viel, klar, ein RPG, also viel Story. Kann man sich auch relativ wenig zu sagen und muss sehr viel zuhören. Und gerade in den Anfängen passiert da vielleicht auch noch nicht so viel, aber es klärt sich langsam auf, in welche Richtung es geht. Ja, ist nicht gelesen, dass ich schon mal drücken kann. Stark. So, wir haben ein paar neue Infos. Ja. Ich das wegmachen? Ah ja.
What do you want?
Okay.
Have a good one.
Gucken wir mal, dass wir hier ein bisschen vorankommen. Wahrscheinlich ist jede Info eigentlich relevant und gut für uns. Lass ein bisschen Zeug kaufen.
Just great, Mr. Monty James. With luck like yours, I wouldn't spend any money on the lottery.
Okay, Mülleimer die suchen. What the fuck? Okay. So. Was ist das hier? So, am Besen, stark. Looten und leveln. Ah, okay, da trinken wir einfach nur. Können wir erstmal aufs Klo gehen. Fuck. Okay, wir können nicht Toiletten Loot finden. Kann ich die Karte hier drehen? Ja, mit E und W. Okay. Okay.
Hello, come up to the desk, please.
Your
I'll
selectron
register you.
has not been properly authorized.
A tall receptionist watches you from behind his desk with a bored, haughty look. He waves impatiently at you to approach. The employee glances at you indifferently. His upper lip is ever so slightly curled in contempt.
All new
Der Dude sieht auch
employees
echt aus wie der
must
letzte
register
Psychopath hier.
first thing. Come up to the desk, please.
The nameplate on the desk tells you you're talking with Dean Rayhet, administrator. The administrator slaps himself on the forehead.
Ah, I almost forgot the regulation pre-registration greeting.
Rayhet produces a reel-to-reel tape recorder from beneath the desk, rewinds the tape to the beginning, and presses play. The speakers explode with a harsh, crackling sound, over which the tick-tick of a metronome slowly grows louder. Solemn music begins to play, and the administrator's face takes on a serious expression.
Dear employee, on behalf of the Cronus Foundation, I, Administrator Dean Rayhet, welcome you to your new life under the dome.
The administrator clears his throat and continues.
By joining our company, you choose the path of science and progress. You are among mankind's best, and we ask that you live up to this.
Dean squints down at the monitor.
Deserve this title. Do your job honestly. Obey the law. Respect your colleagues and...
The music fades, and the administrator finishes his speech.
And together we will build the best possible future for all mankind.
Dean puts the tape recorder away.
Now that we're done with the official greeting,
Dean's hands hover over the keyboard. He gives you a nod. The administrator squints at the paper in his outstretched hand before setting it next to Rayhet scans the computer screen.
so your position in the waiting list was 63,784. You've been assigned to Magellan Station. A special bus will bring you there after a series of briefings. Please.
Dean snaps the docking port of your pass to a recess in the casing of his computer. The administrator returns your selectron.
Cronus was founded as a society of scientists and military professionals. White wingers have special privileges at most of the original locations built in 71 and 72. And there are still purely white zones in Magellan too. Limited access laboratories, operating rooms, the morgue, warehouses, some parts of the reactor. I think you'll like it.
Dean continues.
All new employees have a short list of tasks to perform on arrival. Do you want to hear all the details or just the short?
Rayhet snorts.
To make it short, get your uniform from storage, your weapons from the armory, pass the Psi abilities test, and complete your weapons training at the training zone. Then learn how to use the scanner, avoid anomalies, and properly catalog anything you observe. Last, go to the waiting room and wait for the bus to Magellan.
Dean sits back in his armchair.
That's
Rayhet claps his hands. He reaches for the tape recorder, but thinks better of it. As he's about to turn away, Dean suddenly remembers something.
Oh yes, I sent your mail to your Kairos.
Okay, das ist die Nachricht mit der To-Do-Liste. Und die Story geht weiter. Dann können wir jetzt hier durchgehen, oder?
Well, hello there.
which was called the Spire. It's a pure engineering miracle. Welcome. We are Cronus, your reliable guide to the world of the future.
Bye-bye.
When the dome was found, a small research...
Okay. Das ist Training gespart. Vielleicht nicht so gut. Jetzt wissen wir nicht, wie das geht. Ah, gehen wir erstmal hier lang. Okay, nee, da wollen wir ja noch gar nicht hin.
Behind the storage counter, you see a small, neat guy. His gingery hair shines with something like brilliantine. His badge says, Sidney Maynard, storekeeper. The silver perks up at your approach. A thick logbook appears at once from under the counter. Sidney puts on thick glasses that seem to age him 5 decades in an instant and studies the lined pages. The silver finally stops and pins down a... Maynard adjusts his glasses in a businesslike manner.
Before I give you the uniform, please...
The silver disappears into the back for a while, and unfolding the package, Sidney proudly shakes out a... He raises a finger.
One more important thing. In accordance with Order 16-225, helmets and gloves are not issued, but they're available for purchase from me.
Sidney hands you the package.
Here's your uniform.
Sidney adjusts his glass. Sidney scribbles something in his logbook.
Please come back anytime if you need something.
Können wir ein bisschen Money machen. Kann ich nicht umstapeln? Scheint nicht. Wait. Hey, ich bin genauso viel Geld wie vorher, oder?
Anything urgent, Mr. Kratchkov?
Katarzyna, did you mark it as Class 1 again, instead of 2? Look, here's the scanner data. It says the relic is a scientific device.
Wait, but it's still Class 1.
Nee, Fernseher brauchen wir nicht benutzen.
Katarzyna, my dear, I'll complain to the Silvers about that.
An engineer in a bright blue jacket.
You're a newcomer, right? It's a straight-up open house here today.
He offers you his hand. According to his badge, this is Maxim Penkovsky, technician. The technician slaps the door with one hand.
You have to wait until I'm done.
Penkovsky chuckles.
Looks like you don't get it. Tons of relics pass through Concord. The base is laid out to make everyone walk a single route, with the top level as separate as possible from the bottom. You get the memo?
He turns back to the lock.
So in the meantime, take a load off. Have a coffee.
Maxime extracts a thin...
Though there's another way. You want to learn something about picking locks?
The blues getting excited.
All right.
Penkovsky presses his pick lock, and an odd device resembling...
Using a mechanical pick lock is easy peasy. No special skill required. They wear out after a few locks. While the old-fashioned...
He gives you a quick lesson on how to pick...
By the way, actually...
The blue solemnly He looks at the door again.
Damn these...
Okay.
I repeat, get a lockpick and attach it to your utility belt. And then, apply it to the door. Yes, apply is the proper word.
Well, you've got quite an aura. You're a natural. Yes.
A lean silver with thick black hair and a huge cigar. As you approach, he flashes a sly grin and slowly raises an outstretched hand. Something really weird happens. You thrust your hand forward, and your outspread fingers emit barely visible sparks of energy. Pencils, paper clips, toothpicks, and pistachio shells dance chaotically in the air. The silver sticks out his lower lip as if to say, not bad, and gives you a thumbs up.
Here for the briefing, huh? Shall we get to it?
The silver props his elbows on the table.
Anyway, here's the deal. It's more profitable for people with...
Not waiting for an answer, he grabs your hand with strong, dark fingers. Andre gropes your hand with an expression of fierce concentration.
So, do you practice? Bells, bulbs, brushing mugs.
The silver takes a thin glove. He counts off on his fingers.
Learn psionics. Put on the glove.
You don't have to. The filament. The silver laughs contented. The silver. Me.
Be kind, please. Don't touch this. It's mine.
Die Blumentüpfe durchsuchen, okay. Kann man hier auch durchsuchen? Nee. Okay.
Apply it to the door. Yes, apply is the proper word.
Warte mal, ich sollte den Dietrich kombinieren mit meinem Werkzeuggürtel. Ah, ich hab das Zeug noch gar nicht an. Ich hab gar kein Werkzeuggürtel. Wait, oder ist das hier der Werkzeug? Ist das schon? Ah, okay. Wenn ich jetzt das hier nehme und dann da drauf drücke. Ah, okay, das war das, was ich sowieso machen sollte. Nice.
Excursion to a world of new technology and the riddles of an ancient civilization. Listen to this information, useful for all wings, and receive a colorful leaflet.
Okay, was machst du hier eigentlich? Psyshock? Also, es ist halt ein ziemlich umfangreiches, denke ich, inhaltlich starkes, wie es birgt, RPG. Verständlich, dass die Leute das gebackt haben. Ich kann hier wieder mit 109 Leuten quatschen. Ich kann hier die ganze Basis noch erkunden, bevor es überhaupt erstmal losgeht. Aber die Zeit bleibt natürlich hier in so einem eine Runde mit überhaupt nicht. Dafür müsste man es natürlich dann wahrscheinlich als Let's Play spielen. Ich sehe es aber nicht. Aus einem ganz einfachen Grund. Man hört die größte Zeit nur jemanden quatschen und es ist dann doch ein bisschen weniger Action. Aber eigentlich glaube ich, ist das Spiel bestimmt sehr cool. Von der Story her auch. Gleich schauen wir dann nochmal rein. Ich müsste mal hier nochmal, kann ich schon mal nicht speichern. Ich will einmal gucken, was passiert, wenn ich... Wo bin ich denn? Hallo? Ah, da. Das ist, wenn ich das...
Speak quickly. Scram.
Sounds like a sci-fi story, but we aren't
Hmm.
strangers to
Welcome under the dome, an amazing excursion to a world of new technology. What are you doing? Oh, what do you want?
Jetzt geht der Turm auf, das ist schlecht.
We could still fix things up.
Man muss seine AP auch beachten. Okay, es gibt schließlich einen Kampfmodus, dann rundenbasiert. Neue Runde.
Don't touch me. I work in administration. Ah!
Da muss man halt auf seine AP komplett achten. Okay. Natürlich jetzt low. Und hier gibt es so eine Rundenteilung. Jetzt kommt natürlich der Turm dazu. Aber tatsächlich hat er mich nicht umgehauen. Witzig. Ich sehe wenigstens kaputt. Tatsache. Das wäre natürlich das Problem, wenn der Turm mich wegmacht. Okay. Aber auch vom Kampfsystem her nicht verkehrt, glaube ich. Dieses rundenbasierte mit AP hat halt sehr viel von so einem Shadowrun-like rundenbasierten Kampfstil. Aber wie gesagt, für dieses Format auf jeden Fall viel zu viel. Vielleicht schaue ich nochmal rein, Stream oder so, wenn man mehr Zeit hat. Als Dead Space ist, glaube ich, auch nicht so gut. Aber grundsätzlich interessant. Sind uns beim nächsten Mal reingehauen.